Hey girl kids, welcome back. It's me, Holly. Hey, I'm so excited to spend this day with you. Boy, you guys are probably all out of school right now and you're trying to figure out what you're doing, what's going to keep you busy, and what's going to be fun this summer. So be careful and be sure to check out the website that I sent to your mom and dad that's got summertime fun, free stuff all over the place in Phoenix, Arizona. It's a fun one. Also, don't forget, we're doing a VBS this year in our brand new building. I'm super excited. Our theme is Ready, Set, Move. We are traveling around doing mission work for Jesus. We're learning about how to be the hands and feet of Jesus this summer. I cannot wait. Please come, please register, okay? It is for free too. So I'm super excited to get this going and do this with you guys. If you want to volunteer, if you're an older high schooler, college student, or an adult older than that, and you want to volunteer, please come. I could use your wisdom and your excitement and joy for just preaching the good news to the children and passing it on to the community that we're moving into at Lone Mountain. So be sure to check out the website and the link for volunteering. If you have any questions, just email me. It's hholmes, HOLMES, at missiongrovechurch.com, or you can call me 480-789-1581. It's my personal cell, so send me a text anytime. Also, hey kids, we have a new Bible verse. It is June now. We have a new Bible verse. It comes from Hebrews 11:1. Faith is being sure of what we hope for. It is being sure of what we do not see. So a hope is kind of like a promise that's coming soon, right? Like, so we don't have it in our hands yet. We can't see it. We can't touch it. We're not quite sure what it all entails, but we know we have it. It's ours. It's just not here yet. Okay? It's kind of like heaven, right? When I think about heaven, it's kind of like, I hope that the sun will rise. I know that it's going to happen. There's a promise out there. It's going to happen, but I haven't seen it happen yet. Does that make sense? So let's enjoy this idea of hope this summer and this June as we just understand a little bit more of the promises that God gives us, these covenants that he has given to the people of the past, and how that promise and those covenants are for us as well. All right, it's good stuff this summer. I can't wait to dig into it deeper. Ready, set, move. We're super excited to do this with you and this summer with you. I love you guys, and just have a great day. I pray that you guys are all safe and that you're doing well, that you're listening to mom and dad. I know it gets a little crazy when you're all inside the house. It's hot outside if you don't have a pool. And there's just a lot going on. But please remember to be obedient to your mom and dad. They know what's best for you, and they have good things in mind for you, okay? Keep doing that, and they'll keep doing their job too. Okay, guys, we love you so much. Take care.
The story before the story.
Today, we're in the book of Acts, which tells the story of the early church.
But before Acts, way back in the very beginning, out of a deep love, God made an amazing world.
But when people turned away from God, the world was broken. God made a plan to draw people back into relationship. So at the right time, God sent Jesus, God's very own son, to live among us.
Jesus gave up his life and was killed. But on the third day, he rose to life.
After Jesus returned to heaven, the early church grew quickly with the help of God's Spirit.
When the believers faced trouble in Jerusalem, they scattered to other places, taking the news of Jesus everywhere they went.
Which is where our story starts.
Take it away.
Hey everyone, I'm Brian. Today, I want to introduce you to a man named Saul. Now, if there was such a thing as a model Pharisee or Jewish religious leader, Saul was it. Saul, also known as Paul, was born as a Roman citizen, which gave him special privileges. Growing up, he studied the scriptures until he knew them inside and out. As the early church grew, Saul was just as upset as the other religious leaders. When a Jesus follower named Stephen was sentenced to die, Saul stood by in approval and actually held the coats of the men who threw stones at Stephen. Saul was absolutely certain that Jesus' followers were a threat and that the best way to please God was to get rid of them. He began going house to house, dragging believers off to prison. And when the new believers scattered to other towns, Saul wanted to follow. He took his plan to the high priest.
Give me letters to the synagogue in Damascus. Then I can go and hunt down men and women who belong to the way of Jesus. We'll arrest them and bring them back here to Jerusalem.
Fantastic idea. Consider it done.
With the approval of the high priest, Saul gathered a group of men and supplies for the journey. Now, Damascus, which was the capital of Syria, is around 150 miles from Jerusalem, so that would have taken nearly 2 weeks to travel on foot. But Saul hated the followers of Jesus so much that he couldn't wait to get on with it. After long days of travel, Saul's group finally neared the city of Damascus. The noonday sun shone down bright and hot, but Saul charged ahead, eager to carry out his plan.
We'll find them all. We'll stamp out this dangerous Jesus nonsense.
Then, something happened. Something that would change Saul's life in an instant. A brilliant light flared from heaven, so bright the sun seemed dim. A voice spoke from the light. "Saul, Saul, why are you opposing me?"
Who are you, Lord?
"I am Jesus. I'm the one you are opposing." Okay, now imagine for a moment that you're Saul. You thought Jesus was just a troublemaker who was killed, dead and gone. Yet now he's alive, speaking to you from a blaze of light. It's like your whole world tips upside down in an instant. Whew. And Jesus wasn't done yet with what he had to say to Saul. "Now get up and go into the city. There you will be told what you must do." The men with Saul saw the light too, and heard a sound.
What is that?
It's like thunder.
As the light faded, Saul stood and opened his eyes.
I can't see.
Saul had been in full command, yet now he was helpless. Men from the group led him to a home in Damascus, and for 3 days, still blind, Saul prayed to God. During this time, he didn't even eat or drink anything. And that's where we'll leave it for today. The end.
Ooh, a cliffhanger.
You're right, it's to be continued.
You cannot just leave everyone hanging like this.
Okay, spoiler alert, Saul's meeting with Jesus did change him. Later, Saul regained his sight, and instead of trying to wipe out Jesus' followers, Saul became one.
So, what's our part in the story?
Well, you probably won't hear Jesus ever speak to you from a brilliant light. Saul's perspective, his way of seeing the world, was changed in an instant. But as you begin to learn who Jesus is and choose to follow him, your vision too will start to shift. You'll start to see things in a new light.
Like the stuff that happens to you.
That's true. When you know Jesus, you discover that you are a child of God and that God loves you more than you can imagine. Everything that happens to you, even the hard stuff, becomes an opportunity to grow and become more like Jesus.
Knowing Jesus can change how you see other people too.
Yeah, it's like you get this supervision to look at your class bully or your annoying little cousin and see that they're made in God's image too.
And they deserve your love and respect.
Knowing Jesus means that you can pause at any moment in your day and ask Jesus to give you his perspective.
The more you do, the more Jesus will show you ways to love God and love people in everything you do.
Yep, I think you guys are seeing the light. See you next time.
So here's the thing. Knowing Jesus changes how you see things.
Sometimes things are out of my control. And sometimes I don't understand why the rolling thunder rolls. But when the rain falls from the sky, the grass turns green, the flowers bloom, and I stop asking why. Because I know with hope there's always a better tomorrow. It's hard to believe the best, but you can't win if you give up. Even if it doesn't work out like I planned, I'm choosing to believe, and I know it's hard to understand. We can't always see the plan, but we have a choice and this is mine. I'm choosing to believe. I'm choosing to believe. out of my control. And sometimes I don't understand why the rolling thunder rolls. It's hard to